Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to Phase 2 of the Avengers Infinity War Toys Reviews. Phase 1 was Thanos and Iron Spidey. But as you can see, I have a lot to cover, and this isn't even all of it. So let's go and get started with Raccoon and Groot. Starting with the package front here, we have an awesome open window display with Rocket and Teenage Groot showing through. We also have some nice artwork of them, really cool. I just noticed, Teenage Groot seems to have another detonator. Hopefully he can understand instructions better this time. We also get an Infinity Stone, which is part of Hero Vision. I wonder what it is. See back for details. Okay, here's the back. Infinity Stones provide power-ups in the Hero Vision gameplay. Hero Vision sold separately. Well, that didn't explain anything. I still have no idea what it is. Here's the top, here's one side, and the other side, and here's the bottom with a UPC, Mission Breakout! And there they are, guys, Teenage Groot and Rocket. All right, which one should we look at first? Let's look at Rocket. Let's look at Groot first. Now, starting with the head, we have an awesome tree sculpt going on here because he's a tree. That makes sense. He has some interesting eyes too, which really look alien and stuff because, well, he is alien. Wow, I'm just Captain Obvious today, aren't I? But anyways, though, I really do like this tree sculpt. I mean, just look at all the details in it. Look at all the grooves. It does look like a tree, even though that's obvious. He has some moss going on here, which is really awesome. The tree goes all the way around. Looks like he has some kind of hairdo because of little, cut branch stuff, whatever they call this stuff. And check out the top of his head. I mean, that's the coolest part. It actually looks like a chopped tree trunk, which is really awesome. I mean, look at that detail. Although they dropped the ball under the chin here because it's just flat as flat can be. No sculpt. And moving on down to the body, we get even more tree detail. Just look at all the detail on there. I mean, it looks so organic and real, like it's an actual tree trunk. And he's got some moss growing on here. Then he's got some burnt spots right here, which, I mean, looks like he got blaster singed or something, or maybe just got too close to the Infinity Stones. But check out the back. This part is probably cooler than the front. I mean, just look at this. Not only is it detailed, but it's set up to look anatomically correct. I mean, just look, he's got his booty cheeks right here. He's got what looks like shoulder blades right here, and then kind of muscle sculpt right there, which is really amazing. And on top of that, you have details inside these as well. They're just lines. It's crazy. All right, now moving on to the arm, they're pretty scraggly and thin here. It does continue that nice tree branch detail though, as you can see there. He has more of that nice green moss, as you can see, which is on both sides actually, although this side does have more. And if you look closer at the arm, you can see they continue that anatomical accuracy. I mean, just look, you can kind of see the bicep going on there. You can see the muscle, whatever, I don't know what they're called, but you can see that structure going on, which is really nice. It's like they really paid attention to Groot here. It's pretty crazy. And he has really long fingers for his hands. They're kind of like E.T. type long, you know, like the movie E.T. Does anybody remember that movie? And moving on down to the legs, of course, the awesome sculpt continues. It's just amazing how much detail they put into the tree structure on this figure. I mean, this isn't even a Legends or a premium figure, but man, they put a lot of detail. I mean, just take a look at that. That's inside the leg there. They got multiple layers of branches, and then they have the little kind of indents on top of the branches, and then they just kind of, not quite as anatomical correct, but you can tell there's definitely a separation from the knee and the thigh, and he's got a little bit, I guess, muscle structures. He's got some super thighs though, no ankles. Although they did give him what kind of looks like toes, or something, or wedged feet like a duck or something, so that's pretty cool. And here's the bottom of the feet for you with all the legal mumbo jumbo. Peg holes too. All right, now let's go and move on to Rocket. Whatever. Now starting with the head and sticking in Captain Obvious mode, he looks like a raccoon. He actually has a really nicely detailed sculpt as well. Look at all this fur that they have on him. He's got his nice little ears there as well. Very minimal paint though, so it kind of doesn't really stand out. It would have been cooler if they kind of accentuated with, like, you know, brush stroke painting or the dry brushing, but it's a budget figure, so that's okay. Now his face though, I'm not really feeling it too much because, I mean, it's like I can't tell if he actually has eyeballs or not. I mean, I guess they're sculpted in, but they certainly aren't painted in. At least they painted the white on his snout though. That's pretty cool, and they gave him a nose too. Little nose on a raccoon. And moving on down the body, he is tiny. I mean, like, seriously tiny. He does have some nice suit sculpt though, and some nice paint job on it as well. I like the wrinkles that they put in, and if you look at these navy blue spots and this brown spots, they actually have texturing molded into them, which is quite impressive, honestly. They could have just gone with smooth plastic, but nope, they went extra. Although they did drop the ball in the back here because it's that smooth plastic I told you that they could have gone with, but at least they still have texturing on that brown there. And looking at his arm, it's pretty nicely detailed as well. They got the fur going on there, as you can see. Got a little tiny hand there with his tiny fingers. And it's pretty well detailed, as you can see overall. So that's pretty cool. It's really tiny. I mean, they can't really do much with that. And then moving on down to the legs, we got more of that cool suit sculpt. Overall, they did a pretty fine job sculpting the legs there. They got more of that wrinkles, as you can see there, for the clothing, and they also have the nice texturing in the navy blue, although I have some paint splatter there. It's pretty nice all the way around. Move his tail out of the way there. That works. And you can see more of that awesome detail going all the way around, the little fur in his legs, and then more of the wrinkles, especially right down there where it's kind of bunched up where he rolled it up. He also has some nice little raccoon toes going on there. You can kind of see little nails going on there. They didn't paint them, but they're definitely there. Also on this side here. And of course you have his tail, which apparently detaches, as you can see, which they did a pretty good job. They added the little hair furry sculpt going on, and then they got that black raccoon look, I think. What is that called? And it just plugs into his derriere here. And here's the bottom of his feet for you, which has peg holes, and there's actually no legal mumbo jumbo on here. I think they found a loophole and they just put it on Groot here. And then they got away with it. So that's pretty cool. All right, now before we go into articulation, let's take a closer look at the accessories. Here's the blaster that comes with the set. It's Rocket's gun, as you can see on the packaging. It's actually insanely detailed, which is quite amazing. I mean, look at all that sculpting. I mean, honestly, if you were good at painting, you could make this look really, really nice. Some of that bottom detail for you. Here's the front of it and the back of it. And of course, we have the Infinity Stone. Now this is purple, so it's clearly the Power Stone, but it's kind of a bummer because I also have another Power Stone that I got in this set right here, as you can see. So now I have two Power Stones, but But anyways, this supposedly works with the Hero Vision, and from what I've seen, I actually looked it up, and it looks like this kind of visor thing that you put your phone into, and it's kind of like a VR, and then you plug these Infinity Stones here through that little slot there, and then supposedly it gets powers of some sort. But I don't know, because it's not released yet, so it's hard to say. By the way, I'm taking a guess that it's going to use a camera on your phone to just scan that little code there or something, and then like display whatever it's supposed to display. And I'm guessing that because there's clearly nothing else here. There's no NFC chip, nothing. It's just hollow on the inside, as you can see there. Actually, let's see if I can kind of shine another light on here. Oh, here we go. See, it's just hollow on the inside there. Now, according to the package, this Infinity Stone connects to the little gun right here, right there, as you can see. And it kind of has an interesting look to it, so it's stone powered. And despite the fact that this looks like the handle, he doesn't really hold it there because it looks weird and it doesn't hold. According to the package, he's supposed to hold it like this right here, so that's kind of weird. But his other hand doesn't hold it at all. But you can get Groot to hold it. Pew pew pew! His other hand, not so much though. Alright, now let's move into some articulation. Groot's head rotates a full 360 degrees. It's nice and smooth as well. Has a little bit of up and down movement. There's full down, there's full up. He also has quite a bit of side to side movement as well. And that's because it's actually on a ball joint, as you can see right there. So that's pretty cool. His arm rotates a full 360 degrees. It also has a single joint there, but it can go pretty high, which is quite interesting. So that's pretty neat right there. His elbow rotates 360 degrees, and it has a pivot joint that goes full up, and also quite a bit down as well, which is quite interesting. No movement in the hand though. Looking at the lower torso, he has no torso pivot, knee pivot, or ankle pivot, but the leg does go up all the way, quite a bit, as you can see, and it goes back a decent amount, not too much though, so he can get quite a bit there, although it doesn't go sideways or anything. But something I do want to note is his limbs are actually quite flexible. As you can see here on his leg, it can bend quite a bit, and it can go sideways quite a bit, and his arms are quite flexible too, which is kind of interesting, as you can see there. His torso though, and his body and his head, they're pretty hard, so that's not bending or anything, but that's something that's cool. Then moving on to Rocket, his head also rotates 360 degrees, although it doesn't go up and down very much, as you can see. That's full down, that's full up, so not too much range there. Same with the side to side, doesn't really go anywhere. I find that odd too, because he's also on a ball joint, as you can see. So I don't know why it's not doing that, and I got an idea. Hey guys, look what I made. They look stupid. His arm rotates a full 360 degrees. Also has a joint that moves up, although it can't go very far because of this piece right here. There's no joint in the elbow or the hand though. Looking at the legs, it's not very much. It just moves forward like that and then back, which is kind of not very much. His tail can rotate a full 360 degrees though it likes to come out. So you can just rotate it, move it wherever you need to, and all that good stuff. But there's enough articulation to get a few fun poses out of them. And now for some comparisons. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Rocket Raccoon. As you can see, he's a little bit bigger. He's definitely much more detailed though. And here's a Disney Toy Box Infinity War Black Widow, the Toy Box Black Panther, and just for a little fun, here is the Headphone Spidey Funko Pop. Well, overall, guys, I actually really like these figures. I like Teenage Groot the most because he's just so detailed and anatomically correct. Rocket's not too bad. The Marvel Legends one is much more detailed, but for the budget price, he's pretty cool. Although I wish his face paint would have been, you know, I wish he had eyeballs. Plus, his gun doesn't stay in his hand very well. It constantly falls over. It topples him over. Same thing with Groot. So this gun it's just too big for the figures. I do like the stone though. Anyways, guys, this has been video 1 of phase 2. As you saw in the beginning, I have a whole bunch more to do. So if you guys want to see those videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification button. That way you'll be the first to know when those videos drop. Also, if you like this video, you guys are pros, you know what to do. Now, I'm not quite sure who I'm going to do next yet, but clearly I have plenty to choose from. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in phase 2. Peace.